Greetings, YouTube viewers. This is Thor Wilkins from the Thorniverse, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm having so much fun with this game, and as you can see right here, this is the team that I am currently working with. So, having a Blastoise now, I decide to go ahead and buy the Blastoise Knight and evolve my baby turtle into its Mega form. Cannon Boy. But heading on to over the Mega Slowbro, I'm not going to be using Mega Blastoise. I got another Pokemon I would want to use. So we meet up with our rival over by Amalus Park to get ready to take on the Rogue Mega Slowbro. The entire battle starts off with you not having any Mega Energy. Even though you had a full bar at the beginning, you're going to have to earn your Mega Evolution spot back. For this, I'm actually using Gyarados. Knowing Slowbro being psychic and water, my Gyarados knows Crunch, and when Gyarados Mega evolves, it loses the flying typing and becomes Water Dark. So its Dark type moves will become much more powerful. With Mega Gyarados in hand, it easily disposes of the Slowbro. And after we take care of that Slowbro, we are given Slowbro's Mega Stone, the Slowbro Knight. Notice how it says it will not work for Galarian Slowbro. So we're going to be finding Galarian Slowbro later in the game. Hinting at Galarian Pokemon, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few more in the game. After we defeat Slowbro, Tawny heals our Pokemon, and she makes her leave. And that finishes up the Rogue Mega Slowbro mission. After that, we have one more Rogue Pokemon remaining. And Zygarde, once again, looks on from the distance. Zygarde has a mysterious presence in this game. But moving forward, the last Mega is Victory Bell, so I'm preparing my Aerodactyl. I also have a Mega Pidgeot, so I have two different coverages for the Mega Victory Bell. We meet up with Naveen in front of this courtyard, and he still feels like Mega Evolution is something out of a nightmare and something that Pokemon cannot control. Well, mainly, these Rogue Mega Pokemon are exuding too much power. Now we get our first glimpse of Mega Victory Bell in the game. This is the same shiny Pidgey I caught a couple of episodes ago. It doesn't really seem to be doing all that much, but I'm doing my best with Pidgeot. I know it's 7 levels over. And we get enough Mega Energy, and I finally get a glimpse at my shiny Mega Pidgeot. Continuing on through this battle, this was a really tough battle. My Pidgeot lost its Mega Evolution, so I end up switching to Mega Aerodactyl. Plus, Pidgeot was about to faint due to poison anyway, and it looks like it's the same for Aerodactyl. So I end up healing my Pokemon and evolving my Aerodactyl to its Mega form, and Aerodactyl takes out the Victory Bell. A tag team between Pidgeot and Aerodactyl. And we defeated the Rogue Mega Victory Bell, and we are awarded the Victory Bell Knight. Then Naveen tells us if we want a Victory Bell, we can get a Weeping Bell and use a Leaf Stone. But I already have one, so good luck with that, Naveen. So after we calm all of the Rogue Pokemon, we head back to Hotel Z. And once again, the Zygarde looks on from above. We make our way back to Hotel Z, and the moment we arrive, we are confronted by Zygarde. Zygarde staring on as if he wants us to battle with it. So we get ready and take on 10% Zygarde. I start off with my Feraligatr, and in just a couple of moves, the Zygarde is easily taken care of. Okay, not a couple of moves, more like a few. And after the battle, the Zygarde approaches us, and he hands us something.
Bruh.
It's just a pebble. I never heard of dogs liking rocks. Anywho, after the battle, this strange man approaches us, telling us that we've earned the attention of Zygarde. This man is called L, but if any of you other Pokemon fans know, this is Lysander. He tells us about the disturbances that happens throughout Lumio City, all of the Mega Crystals and all of the Mega Power making specific Pokemon succumbing to wild rogue Mega Evolution. Zygarde seems to be following us, and it seems that it has chosen us and being deemed worthy, and believes that we would be able to overcome the threat of this city. After the dialogue, bye-bye, Zygarde makes his leave, and Lysander looks on, knowing that AZ owns this hotel, saying that he will face his sins, and he ends up walking off into the unforeseeable future, wondering if we will ever see this guy again. So we go back into the hotel, and we ask about where AZ is. He's off having a look at the tower. So we ended up completing all 3 Rogue Mega Evolution missions. And now, all we have to do is wait for our next rank up promotion match. Oh, speak of the devil. Our next opponent is Dynamo's Canary. And if we knew about this from earlier, we already know one specific person is a major fan. Naveen is one of Canary's biggest fans. Now he's wondering whose side to take, and Lita says, how can he not choose mine? Well, you choose your idol or you choose one of your friends. We do not have a lot of information on Canary as of right now, but like a real fan, Naveen has a way for us to meet her, but he doesn't want to feel like he's impinging on her. So Lita, given the bright ideas that she has, says that we have to battle Naveen, and if he loses, he has to tell us how to find Canary. And Naveen accepts.
12 seconds later.
Literally, 12 seconds. Knocking out all of his Pokemon, and he tells us about how to meet Canary in a Quiz Whiz contest. Many people who have taken this quiz, if they win, can ask Canary for a handshake, an autograph, or a promotion match. Mainly it's a PvP match. So we have to go ahead and secure our Challenger's ticket. But knowing me, I already have mine. I like the nighttime battles in this game, and it gives me more money to spend later in the day. So we go to the electrical substation in the Magenta District, and I'm going to level up my Gabite, and I'm going to go get the Mega Garchompite. Because I do not have a proper Mega Pokemon to take on electric types. So I go ahead, sell some items, buy the Garchompite, and I evolve my Gabite into Garchomp. Garchomp is now the highest level on my team as of right now. So we make our way over to the substation and we meet up with Naveen. And he tells us we need to last 3 rounds of this quiz in order to win. It's basically a last man standing type thing. So we find the entrance and we have to go over there and enter a password. The password is Let's Go Dynamo. And we have to say it just like that. So we make our way to front of this entrance, and we already know the password. So let's go Dynamo, not Magneton. Knowing the password, he lets us in, and we get our first glimpse at the crowd who is waiting to meet Canary. One of the biggest hurdles throughout this entire event is this guy right here, claiming he's a veteran Canatic that knows everything about Canary. Then we get introduced to the streaming sensation, the electric type trainer Canary. Making her appearance, she gets the crowd all hyped up. She seems to be a pretty popular person. She asks, "Who wants to meet me?" I'm there in the back, looking all dead. Now we get forward on with the quiz, and she tells us the quiz has 3 rounds. We have to get every answer correct. The first one seems pretty easy. It's just a true or false statement. But if we don't know Kanari, we might not win. Naveen is in the background within our earpiece. And the first question of the quiz is, I'm good at falling block puzzle games. True or false? Through the earpiece, Naveen tells us we gotta get every question right and says he's here as backup. But pick which one we think is right. You're supposed to be helping us. So I end up actually getting help from the super fan, because apparently he knows all the questions. The correct answer is true, because earlier in the game, Naveen mentions she's very good at Beldum Block Builder, which is a block puzzle game. So we get the first question right, and we move on to the second question. The second question, are macarons her favorite food? We don't know. And Naveen is over here trying to give us some help, but he says this one's easy.
Help me! Help me!
Naveen has been pretty useless, so I'm going with the superfan again. The correct answer is false. She does not eat sweets. Now moving on to the final question. Electric type Pokemon are her fave. True or false? Well, we already know she's an electric type user, so the answer is true. This guy's dialogue is just so toxic, it makes him look ridiculous. And people like this is what drives fans away from specific franchises. Now the next people moving on to this contest are us 5. Now for the next round, we have to find the thing that her Electros likes the most. Naveen already knows what her Electros likes. It's a Lumiose Galette, but there has to be a twist to this. So we have to go and find a Lumiose Galette. Not just any Lumiose Galette. We have to go to Cafe Gallant. So we end up fast traveling our way to the Cafe Gallant just to meet up with this guy again. He seems to have found what Electros likes. Now Naveen is over here in the corner, just chilling by himself, and says that the Electros loves the overbaked Lumiose Galettes. Ever since he ate one during a battle, well, the Lumiose Galette has actually been one of the Electros' faves. Now we obtain the Super Lumiose Galette, and it is a overcooked, burnt Lumiose Galette. And this guy, once again, his rude dialogue continues to piss me off through this game. So we get the exact thing that her Electros is looking for. She got it wrong. She thinks it's a freebie, but this guy knows the real answer. Kanari thinks that it was way too easy, or was it? Telling us that we got it wrong. These two are shocked by it. She knew she got it wrong, and Kanari calls us forward, and we are going to show her what we really brought. It's a Super Lumiose Galette, and being the big fan that this guy is, apparently knows all the right answers. Telling us that we got it correct. And after the quiz and the item hunting is over, we move on to the final round. Telling us again about his knowledgeable expertise, this guy pisses me off to no end. The remaining 2 trainers will have to battle, and we have to answer one more question. But wait, I thought there was only 3 rounds. Anyway, we are challenged by Mani of Team Dynamo. He sends out a Helioptile, and I send out my new Garchomp. With Garchomp being the highest level on my team, this battle's going to be easy. Now, we Mega Evolve our Garchomp, and Garchomp lets out its battle cry. We easily dispose of Mani and his Pokemon, and Garchomp takes the victory. With our victory in hand, we are asked the final question. We don't even know this answer, and this is the first time we actually get help from Naveen. He hasn't given us any of the answers, but he tells us that the answer is Kanari's grandpa. The story behind the laptop is tragic. We don't know, so we just choose the answer, and we get it correct. Getting all the questions right, we are now the new Kanari Quiz Whiz champion. Now, we can ask her for anything, but we end up actually asking for a promotion match. Shocked by our answer, she is, well, flabbergasted at least, saying that she's just gonna win. But she don't know what tricks I have up my sleeve. Then she asks if we're a fan, and we'd rather be the same rank as her. So we end up having to go meet up at Racing Construction to battle it out, telling us to bring our best Pokemon so we can't make any excuses.
Bye-bye.
Upon heading to Racing Construction, we see Tarragon at the front desk, and he wonders why our paths keep crossing. Knowing that we are now the Quiz Whiz champion, we ask if he was watching, and he says if we beat him in a battle, he'll tell us everything he knows. But we're supposed to battle Kanari. So we end up battling Tarragon, taking on his team. But unbeknownst to us, he seems to be using a lot of ground types for some reason. So I had Absol up front, and I switched to Roserade. Later on in the battle, his ace Pokemon comes into play, and he has a Mega Excadrill? That thing looks friggin' ridiculous, but it don't matter. With the help of a few of our Pokemon, this thing may look ridiculous, and it takes out 2 of my Pokemon. After a few sacrifices, Flareon is able to take care of the last bit of health of the Mega Excadrill. Having defeated Tarragon, he reveals his secret to us about his grandkid. It was him! Pretending to be Kanari through the Holocaster. Knowing his granddaughter is more focused on her gaming, he decided to be, well, Kanari as the Holocast form. Putting on her performance, pretending to be his granddaughter is something that he really enjoyed. So now we end up seeing the real-life Kanari. She gets off of her stream, and we finally meet this electric-type Quiz Whiz trainer. Her grandpa already caught her up to speed about what's going on. So we asked for a battle, and she said she'd rather be streaming than battling. Moving on ahead with this, we start our next WWE promo match. Well, Pokemon battle. And she starts off with a Heliolisk. However, I decided to change my mind, and I use my own Electros. Knowing she has one of her own, so we end up using Electros for this entire battle. Yes, I do end up healing Electros a couple of times. I feel the rest of my team is a little underleveled, because my Garchomp is the only one that is almost level 50. After we take care of the first few of her Pokemon, her Ampharos seemed to be the toughest one to beat. So I end up healing Electros later in this fight. And after we heal up the Electros, we take down the Ampharos. Her final Pokemon is the Electros, and she Mega Evolves. Now we see what the new Mega Electros looks like. It grows cannons on its arms. So I end up healing my own Electros again. Now it's Mega Electros versus my own Electros. Couple of moves in, the Mega Electros seems a lot more powerful. But with my own Electros, we end up taking it down and securing our victory. With the battle concluded, we finally move to rank E. After the battle, she gives us the Volt Switch TM. And she also gives us something else. She knew we weren't working alone, so she gives us an autographed plush. Maybe I can actually give this to Naveen. He didn't help much, but I'm pretty sure this is for him. She knows that we are not a real fan, but if we end up actually becoming one, it'll make her just a little bit more happy. She gets back to her game, and Thunder waves us goodbye. With rank E now in our possession, we go back to the hotel and we have a congratulatory dinner. And during the dinner, Naveen asks us what Kanari was like. Well, the dialogue was a little rude, but I'm going to say she gave me something. Yes, the autographed Kanari plush for Naveen. Now, if I was Naveen, I would not hide in the shadows anymore, and I would actually want to be a part of being involved in the fan base. After treasuring his little new gift, we take our rest, and we wake up the very next morning feeling refreshed. We meet the others downstairs, and Vinny is calling. And now we have a job this early in the morning. Yeah, we're not on call 24/7. She asks if we need to take care of more rogue Pokemon, and we now get into our strategy meeting. The 3 new rogue mega Pokemon are going to be in 3 different spots around the map. The first is Sector 5 Beedrill, Sector 3 Hawlucha, and the next is Sector 9 Banette. We all got our spots, we all got our jobs to do, so we make our way to the rooftop and we see Tawny. And once we reach rank E, instead of dashing from rooftop to rooftop, we can now be taught how to use the Rotom Glide. This is available in the game at rank E, and when falling from a high place, just push A to Rotom Glide, and you can safely make your way off to the next rooftop if you're close enough. After we get used to using the Rotom Glide for the first time, this may be a little bit easier to find specific Rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon, with the first being in hand is the Mega Beedrill right across the way. But I'm not going to do that right now. So, with the new Rotom Glide in hand, I will be going around, going to different rooftops, finding all the other screws that I missed, and I will be continuing to explore off camera, but the story will be an episodic series just like this video. This is Thor Wilkins from the Thorniverse. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next episode.